Destiny 2 has a lot, and I mean a lot of resource currencies. There are so many individual upgrade materials, bartering items, and cosmetic exchanges you can go and grind. And sometimes it gets a little overwhelming trying to remember where all of these things come from, but more importantly, how best to farm them when you're desperately in need of them. AKA, you're out of Glimmer for the 5th time this week because you're having too much fun making a bunch of brand new builds. And it's true, with the sheer amount of build variety on offer now, given we have a grand total of 56 armor set bonuses in the game, which require countless resources to masterwork, or upgrading weapons, purchasing subclass abilities, the list goes on and on. So today we're going over how to farm every single useful resource in Destiny 2 for the rest of the game's life. So if you end up finding today's guide helpful, your like and subscription would be very much appreciated. But without further ado, let's begin. Glimmer is first on the list because it is arguably the most frustrating currency to run out of. And fun fact, fully masterworking a tier 5 armor piece costs 35,000 Glimmer, and for a full set, 175,000, which is quite a lot. So here's how to get a lot as efficiently as possible. First of all, the most important thing you need to have equipped when farming Glimmer is the ultimate Glimmer booster ghost mod, which states that it increases Glimmer gains by a whopping 65%. And if you're newer to the game and don't have access to these mods yet, level up your Guardian rank and eventually you'll unlock them. Now, with this mod in hand, Glimmer can be farmed most effectively by completing public events across destinations. And assuming you activate the heroic version, standard heroic public events always give you around 14,500 Glimmer per completion. I say standard though because there is one strange exception, and that is that specifically Cosmodrome public events drop significantly more Glimmer, about double than what the rest of the solar system offers, with each one rewarding around 29,000. So if you're in a pinch for some Glimmer, get yourself down to the Cosmodrome. You might also be wondering whether if a planet is distorted, that completing public events there rewards more Glimmer than usual, and unfortunately the answer is no, and even more surprisingly, completing distortion breaches awards literally no Glimmer at all, just so you are aware. So, Cosmodrome public events are the main active Glimmer farm. However, there are two other sources of Glimmer which I recommend exhausting first before playing any public events. Number one being the Glimmer exchange at Master Rahul in the tower, where you offer him either dark fragments, phantasmal fragments, or hear always pieces for a stack of 10,000 Glimmer, which are infinitely purchasable. So if you found yourself with an abundance of the aforementioned currencies from patrolling their respective destinations and you're in the need of some Glimmer, start here first. Second, heading to the Tharsis Outpost social space inside of the Lawless Frontier, if you run all the way back to the right hand side of the area, there are two chests that offer 10,000 Glimmer each for 500 credits, resetting daily. So if you've got a stockpile of credits lying around from playing a bunch of Renegades content, check back here daily for a quick and easy 20k Glimmer boost. After that, simply head back to the Cosmodrome and farm heroic public events until you are satisfied. Next on the list are the general upgrade materials like enhancement cores, enhancement prisms, ascendant shards, and ascendant alloys. And if there's one thing I want you to take away from this section, is that you don't necessarily farm for these items, you just accumulate a bunch of them over time from simply just playing the game. A big reason for that is because by inspecting the reward offerings for most activities within the Vanguard, Crucible, and even Gambit Ops categories, all of the resources I just listed are present here, and typically you get around 1 to 2 ascendant shards and 1 to 2 ascendant alloys, 3 to 4 enhancement prisms, 5 to 7 enhancement cores, and around 8 strange coins per run, which we'll get to in a bit more detail later. But the point is, you can farm these activities if you'd like, but it's nothing really hyper specific or optimized. These resources just fill over time from whatever you're doing. That being said, if you need specifically shards and prisms fast, a great way to double up on both that and spoils of Conquest is by farming Argos checkpoints inside of Pantheon, especially if you equip enough feats to increase your reward score. With either a 4 or 5 out of 5 reward rating, you'll be getting 30 spoils, 1 shard, and 3 prisms per run. Pretty good if you ask me, especially given how strong certain raid armor sets are, like from King's Fall or Salvation's Edge. Having an abundance of spoils is great for buying the armor. Again, much like with Glimmer, you can also buy these resources at Master Rahul, but I would only do this as a true last resort. They're very expensive and in my opinion not worth the price. Just play the game and you'll eventually restock your stash. Moving on, we have exotic engrams, mainly used for exotic armor focusing at Rahul when trying to obtain the perfect rolled exotic armor piece you need for your build. And let's say you've hit a streak of bad luck, didn't get the piece you wanted, and have run out of engrams. What do you do now? Well, the best way to farm exotic engrams is by playing Master Lost Sectors, because opening the Lost Sector chest has a chance to reward an engram. But this is important. To maximize maximize your chances of getting an engram, first of all, make sure you are playing on master difficulty as it increases the drop chances, and second, ensure you have killed every champion you come across so that you get platinum rewards at the end, again, which increases the chance of obtaining an engram. In terms of the best lost sectors to farm, most planets have multiple lost sectors that rotate daily, but Nessus has just one lost sector featuring higher difficulty options, that being the Conflux. And luckily for you and me, the Conflux is literally just a single room with a bunch of ads, meaning you can clear it incredibly quickly, and best of all, you don't have to wait around for it to come into rotation. It's always there and ready to be farmed. You've even got people like Sutek over here farming it in exactly 30 seconds, so you can get really optimal if that's what you choose to do. Other places include the seasonal archive vendor that contains a sub-menu letting you buy exactly one exotic engram per week using Chronologs. Maxing out Hawthorne's reward track always gives one, and if you're playing lots of raids and dungeons, you'll be resetting here rather frequently. Hell, I'm at Prestige 66, but of course that's just me. Xur also offers one each week for strange coins, and another from reaching rank 10 with him, which you can repeatedly obtain provided you spend enough strange coins and reset his rank. And of course, the current and former season passes are littered with exotic engrams ready for you to claim once you reach their corresponding ranks. So in short, if you need exotics bad, farm the Conflux on Nessus, but if you're just starting out, the season pass and certain vendors have got you covered for a good while. And of course, you can also just get exotics to drop randomly from defeated enemies in the wild. Bright Dust is next, and this is a big one because it's the main free-to-play way of earning premium cosmetics. And especially with the addition of the Bright Engram focusing feature, if you're looking to round out your collections of items like shaders, emotes, or ornaments, you're going to need a hefty amount of Bright Dust. And the only way to earn Bright Dust is by first of all completing the season pass, because in doing so and collecting every Bright Dust offering, you'll come out with 14,000, and then after that, it's onto the seasonal overview. In this tab, completing the weekly reward track gives exactly 1,000 Bright Dust, and completing the daily and weekly challenges award 20 and 100 Bright Dust respectively. Speaking of challenges, the Arena Ops Quick Play and Quick Play Master Vanguard Alert challenges award 250 Bright Dust each, and then there's your orders. Common orders give 10, legendary 100, and exotic orders 200 Bright Dust each, and that's it. No more Bright Dust from anywhere else in the game. Well, except you do have a chance to earn a small, medium, or large pile of Bright Dust from random Bright Engram decryptions, but with the focusing feature, I wouldn't advise opening Bright Engrams unfocused. If you can, focus them because each focus has duplicate protection, whereas a random pull does not. Next up, we have strange coins, and this ties back to what I was saying earlier within the general upgrade material section. You just get a steady flow of strange coins from simply playing the game. And as a reminder, a typical max score activity will drop 8 to 10 strange coins or more if you've activated the strange boon at Xur, which I do recommend. Buying this item will simply make more coins drop for you. The weekly track from the seasonal overview also rewards 34 coins per week, and the full season pass holds 164 coins. Up next are legendary marks, a returning currency from Destiny 1 that this time allow you to buy numerous items from all 4 of the Guardian tenets in the tower. And the best way to earn lots and lots of legendary marks is by completing Monument of Triumph triumphs. Literally every single one drops marks, and you'll quickly accumulate hundreds, if not thousands, of this currency. However, the triumphs are a finite resource, and inside certain Guardian tenets, like the Tenet of Bravery, you can repeatedly spend marks to open random roll weapon engrams. So if there comes a time when you've completed every single triumph and spent all of your marks, what do you do then? Thankfully, we do have a renewable source of legendary marks, and again, it is all inside the seasonal overview. Weekly challenges will drop 10 marks each, and legendary and exotic orders drop 20 and 50 legendary marks respectively, meaning that if, say, you complete all of your weekly challenges and complete exactly one legendary and exotic order per week, that's 100 marks per week, which equates to 50 weapon focuses at the Tenet of Bravery, which is pretty good going if you ask me. No stress at all once you inevitably start to run out. Exotic Ciphers are next, and these are not the most important currency in the world, but they do help circumvent things like the Glimmer cost for exotic engram focusing, which, speaking of, spending ciphers in this way is how you unlock new exotics you haven't earned before. Simply take your pick. And they can also help unlock exotic weapons from the Monument to Lost Lights archive. And to earn them, again, you can get exactly one per week from the seasonal overview reward track from reaching rank 16. 2 of them can be found in the rewards pass. They can be bought using Chronologs from the previous season archive as well, if you've got any of those spare. Furthermore, Xur offers a weekly quest which requires you to play a bunch of ops activities that rewards exactly one cipher. And finally, Xur himself rewards one 1 cipher each time you reset his rank, so you can get plenty of ciphers if you decide to commit to it. Speaking of Chronologs, how do we get those? The Season Pass offers a total of 3,450, the Seasonal Hub weekly track offers 300 per week, and the Fireteam Ops Quick Play and Quick Play Master Vanguard Alert challenges both offer 200 once completed. Finally, the last currency is Spoils of Conquest, the one used to buy weapons and armor from end of activity raid chests. And there are plenty of guides on YouTube on how to farm however many spoils every week solo by going and getting the secret chests in Vault of Glass, Vow of the Disciple, etc., which works, but if you're wanting to farm spoils efficiently as a group, here's how to do it. Load up Pantheon Callus Resplendent and put on the token limit, phase limit, and battalion's feats, making it so each completed encounter drops 30 Spoils of Conquest. Then complete the Argos encounter, preferably in one phase of damage, and simply rinse repeat. And after about 45 minutes to an hour of farming, you should be completely maxed on spoils. And Argos is one of the easiest raid encounters to do, so it isn't exactly hard on the brain either. There used to be a method where you'd farm Insurrection Prime instead by using Divinity on one of his weak spots as soon as the encounter began, spawning the div cage on his chest and therefore letting you bypass the mechanics entirely. However, this video is being published under the assumption this bug will be fixed, and if it is, I'll update a pinned comment, but if you're seeing this before a fix, then use this farm to your heart's content. So that's how you farm every useful currency inside of Destiny 2. I hope you found the guide helpful and perhaps learned a thing or two. If you did, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe to see more videos like this, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now, dear viewer.